All right, I'm gonna start then, and I don't know if there's anything you wanna talk about this intro. Let's just let it
Um,
play out.
I mean, you can let it play out, but also just maybe fun fact. I don't know who can recall or if someone even ever saw it, but at some point we tweeted a preview of what was the previous new game cinematic, and it was completely different. It was basically a panning shots of the main character sleeping on the floor in that room he wakes up on. But Servant, who is basically the director, thought that if this that we're seeing would be a much better idea, and obviously it's a much better idea.
I mean,
I
yeah.
mean the drawings for the previous hey Jaden, what's up? The idea for the previous one was lame, but at least the drawings were very cool. But this was just a better idea, and the drawings are also pretty dope. So no
Indeed.
harm, no foul. Yeah.
I mean, I remember the old one had a vibe check.
Oh yeah, I got a vibe check. And I guess about this sequence of the main character waking up, I can't recall actually if the glitch effects are they randomized? Not the images. The images themselves are like always those images, but I think like the I don't know, like the minutia of the effect, like the scrambling, isn't that random like every time?
Yeah, it is. Like
Oh yeah.
how much noise, how much aberration, and how what shape the actual overlay has. Everything that all of that is randomized.
Oh yeah. So I guess it's like maybe you could get it sometimes and it's not as readable as other times. I mean, it'll always be pretty readable if you're paying attention at least. But yeah, like there's some variation to the static thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think we are using like the ones that cover only a part of the screen. Most of them are like a flash that covers everything.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right,
And so
so
yeah, basically this is the start of the game, of a new game. Um, I'm actually like, it's pretty curious how there are a ton of, let's say, cliches of about video games that I wouldn't say I really dislike, but at least I mostly dislike, and ended up using them in Bittersweet Birthday, even though I mostly dislike them. And one of those cliches is like the amnesiac main silent protagonist main character. Like usually I'm not that thrilled to see that, but I don't know. It was like I think I can make it work, and like that same thing happens like all over the game. Like there are many plot points, maybe even some like actual game stuff that if I saw them in other games, I'd be like, I don't know. But like I decided exactly because of that I wanted to put them in my own game to see if I could make them work maybe in my head. So yeah, that's like a fun fact, I guess.
yeah, besides, they they're actually really cool if you I don't know if you play your cards correctly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've realized that it's rare that an idea is good or bad by itself. Mostly, it's just like the execution. So even though, like I was saying, there are ideas that in general, at least I'm not attracted to. I think like they could be, um, I guess, designed or like executed in a cool way. So like I'm trying to do that basically with ideas that are not attractive to me. I'm trying to make them cool and make them like well executed.
Oh, by the way, this is the no dodge roll run.
Oh yeah, we're trying the touch. In order to prove to you guys that this game is actually easy. It's so easy. So easy. Hell yeah, music is amazing. It's so fun. Like our musician guy, our composer, he's such like he really doesn't like the spotlight. And it's so weird because I mean it's not his main job or anything, but he is a musician. But he likes to compose things for himself and keep them for himself. So it's so funny because he will always like deliver a song to me and say something like, "I'm sorry, this song sucks so bad, but it's what I came up with." And I listen to it and it's like, what are you talking about? It's amazing. At least like it has happened with every single song, to be honest. Like he's always saying that he hates it. And so sometimes I take screenshots of people like complimenting the music and like just nice comments like yours, Jojo fan. And he'd be like, "Dude, they have shit taste because that music sucks." And I'm like, "Come on, man. Love yourself a little bit."
That's you are your own worst critic.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I think every single song in the game is actually pretty good. I can understand that it's basically him like not wanting the spotlight because well he is a lurker. He's not even in the server, but
Yeah.
still he's pretty good.
Yeah.
By the
So,
way,
what do you think is your favorite song on at least on the demo?
mine.
Yeah.
I'm really a fan of the start menu music. I don't know why.
It has a vibe. I really like it too. Like I think it's somehow already iconic. Like I'm not famous, obviously, but it's like so easy to pick up, and the melody is very strong and very memorable. I really like it too. But if I had to pick one, I'd say the song From the Town. Like that one is I love it so much.
I think that one is the most fitting of all of them. Like that's
Yeah,
exactly what I imagine playing if I enter that place.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I remember that song was made before the visuals for the town was made, so I'm guessing that helped Servant come up with the concept, at least to some extent. Let's see, did Rock's name just appear in the middle of, or is Rock X unlocked?
No, he's not unlocked.
No. This is a fresh new game, and yes, it did appear, and I like I guess at this point, it has that thing has been reported as a bug so many times, and we haven't fixed it. So I guess the secret is out. That's not a bug. That's intentional.
Maybe we should treat it as a bug. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little song for the lore hunters, I guess. Yeah, it's super weird when you put like little secrets like that. I don't know if I should call them secrets, but like things, clues or whatever, and someone finds them out and tells you like, "Yo, I found a bug," and I'm like, oh, shit, I don't know if I should say it's not a bug, you know?
Right. I mean, once they play the demo, they can kind of figure out if they can kind of decide if they wanna consider it a bug or not, because
Yeah, I
both of
guess
them
so.
make sense.
No hit X-Run when unit shows up. Okay, flashbacks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look, I'm the one playing right now, not Poach. So if you guys wanna no hit X-Run, you have to wait until he can get his setup up. I can't.
Like I at first it was me who was going to play, but my internet speed hurt so garbage that like we tested during the afternoon and we just couldn't get it to work with my connection. MC's memories came for a moment, that's why Rock's name appeared. Well, that is specifically something like that I shouldn't answer. Like I'll let you decide for yourself. But I'll just say it's not a bug.
I think just saying that is a lot of information. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Man, I hate this tutorial screen not because of the screen itself, but because it was causing so many bugs with the pause. The game just didn't want to pause. It didn't want to
In the
stop.
end we had to make a really dirty solution, but it worked, so whatever.
It works and has no drawbacks
No
other than
drawbacks.
I'm ashamed to admit that I did that.
Only the shame is the drawback.
Yeah.
So about rock on hard mode, like as I was saying, I was gonna be the one that was streaming, and I guess I can say freely that I'm better at the game than Zurek.
Yeah, you are.
But I mean, it's still like hard. Like I can't beat hard rock every single time. Like I beat him most attempts, but not like every single attempt. On like normal rock, that one I can beat like pretty consistently.
Honestly, I think I've beaten Hard Rock like once, but I've only fought him like 3 times, so it's not like I have a lot of experience with him.
Yeah, I did have to test him much more because I did the AI and the new attacks. And stuff.
Yeah.
And I held back on it. Like I wanted to go really, really, really ham on it. But if I recall correctly, we launched it for the Indie World Order demo. Was it?
I think so. Was he on the on that one?
I think so. And the thing is that we were like super rushed, like fixing bugs and stuff until the very last moment.
Oh yeah.
So
I remember there was a bug that the game just randomly crashed, like
Oh,
without
yeah, that was
explanation,
very
without anything, and that started happening like the day before we had to upload. So
oh my
it
god.
was quite a rush to have that. Well, we didn't fix it actually. We just distributed a version that the debug version, let's say, without the black command line screen that appears on the back. So
Yeah, that was the solution.
a dirty solution, but at least we figured out what it was in the end.
Eventually.
Yeah. I remember that on the puzzle, the one in the third room, that was a real headache to make, to design actually. To make it was actually I think quite easy, but like we wanted to have we wanted to have a puzzle that was not challenging, but that didn't have any like deadlocks and at least felt like you did something, not like alright, press this button to open the door.
Oh yeah, because like the first few attempts when making that puzzle, like you could solve it in like 3 lucky presses. Like you could solve it without knowing what you were doing, and so it was like a complicated thing to. Oh, Cervantes here.
Ah yes, the infirmary.
Oh yeah, this place has a ton of layers, like the shadows, the lighting. Can you go back and forth in the door? Yeah, that effect of the dark part of the room, like showing and disappearing, and that transition, like yeah, a lot of layers and stuff.
A lot of actually very precise pixel measurements for it to not look like the light was like cutting here.
Yeah.
In this part specifically. Oh, by the way, I don't know how many people know, but there's a memory in the first room after you sleep.
Oh yeah, there are in total there are 3 memories. But well, the third one, I guess most people here already know how you get it after beating the demo. But the second one is all the way back in the very first room. But you have to you can only pick it up after you go to sleep. Like if you return to the first room before that, it's not there yet. Rock X no hit no memories when I get to a better internet connection and I can stream, I'll try it. I mean, we can still have Eric try it.
I mean, yeah. Alternatively, I can I can give it a shot when we finish the first run. But here's the memory.
I think the hardest part about the memories is coming up with a cool text in it when you get it, and that fits.
Yeah.
That's actually deceptively little text to use. And also, when you actually go to the menu and try to activate them, that's also like tough on like we have very few characters to write something in there.
It's almost the same as the pixel art drawings where you need to express an emotion in a face that has like 10 pixels.
Yeah.
That same feeling but with words.
It's pretty challenging, honestly. But I mean, it's also cool because it forces you to be like concise and to drive the point home like as fast as possible, I guess. So that's cool. That's fine. Okay, so now we're going to the rock fight normal mode, but no dodge rolls.
No dodge rolls, no memories. I'm
no
just
dodge
gonna
rolls,
say.
no memories. Okay. Would you say it's a game theory?
God damn it. God damn it.
So there's, I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm not gonna say where it is. But there are actually a lot of things that I haven't seen anyone point out about the story, about things that happen in the demo. So like I was actually like the demo. I think we can all see that it's pretty big. Like there's a lot to do. It's pretty polished. It goes a long way. Yo, Skilla dude.
Hello, it is fine. I am here.
Hey, Ostrich.
Yo, what up?
How about you guys?
Yeah, just doing a live stream right now.
Oh god,
Yeah.
I dodge rolled. I'm sorry.
Die. You have to die now.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I heard that you got the max donation, which is super exciting.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
I'm excited and scared.
Yeah. Like that was definitely. I mean, obviously it's $2,000. Obviously, we want $2,000 to support us. But at the same time, it was one of those perks where we were like, okay, we're gonna make it available, but let's hope that no one actually picks it, because like just I mean, it kind of depends on the person you're dealing with, but at least at first we were very worried about someone maybe being really insistent on putting some specific idea. And maybe
Not
holding
wanting
us
to work.
hostage. Yeah, maybe holding us hostage over the fact that they gave like $2,000.
Yeah.
So like that was the worry, but having talked to them, like we contacted them. I guess we're like, I have confidence that it'll go smoothly. So we already talked about like how it's gonna go, where the fight's gonna be, the restrictions, all that, and they seem pretty fine with it. So
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in this version of the demo, the camera is a bit zoomed out for the fight, just to give a bit more screen real estate.
yeah, this is
Yeah, I think it was feedback actually that we gave, right?
Yeah,
So we can see the feathers everywhere.
there's
Well,
a lot
what
of
you-
additional stuff.
what do you know? Game developers listening to feedback and implementing it. Oh yeah.
Let me break these bad boys over here.
No, seeing playthroughs and streams of this fight, like it's so rare that people like actually set themselves to destroy the feathers that are stuck on the floor. Like it almost never happens.
There's so many of them. Like
Yeah,
it feels like it's not worth it. Time.
Sometimes it is pointless. Sometimes it helps. Like you have to really check out what Proc is doing, and if it's just like darting around and exploding them all the time, then it might not be worth it.
Yeah,
I
Talk
don't
about
even
how
know the
Zyrek is like a professional. What the hell?
But
Oh, and
I
I'm
don't
not
know
the.
that.
And Posh is way better at mid in this fight.
When
Oh, by
I
the
joined the
way-
stream, I expected it to be like Zyrek getting destroyed or something.
Oh no.
do you have any idea how many times we fought this guy?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
By the way, this is a no dodge roll run. Oh, I think that's pretty old actually.
It is a
I
bit.
never noticed because I'm usually on playing.
Oh my god.
Ooh, you're gonna crack!
If he decides to do that, I die. Alright.
Get wrecked. Get wrecked, son.
Destroyed for not rolling.
Don't worry,
Dude,
guys.
shame on the developer. Oh my god.
Don't worry, I got this. At least my internet works.
That's true. Oh my
It's
god.
like the developers of Cuphead in the game.
Dude, this third world internet speeds. Oh my god. It was supposed to be me playing. Remember, no dodge rolling. You know, have you guys, do you guys move around the control scheme, like the input mapping?
Well, yes and no.
What do
I
you
tried
change?
moving around, I think it was the key to exit dialogue,
Mhm.
because I kept exiting it by accident when trying to go too fast. But I noticed that if I did that, then I couldn't skip the dialogues really quickly because I needed both of the keys to do it, so I just reverted it. But like for the actual movement, no, I left it default. I think it works really well.
The speedrun strat. So I just wanted to mention that, like as a fun fact, I guess, like there was actually internal conflict about what the default dodge roll button should be.
Ah, yes. There was
For
a-
me, it absolutely should be O. Like for me, it feels so great as being O, but Zyrek was like, it's space, it should be space. And we thought about that, and in the end, I was like, okay, it's space, fuck it. But
Well-
it's still in my heart. O is so much more comfy.
I mean,
It's odd because when I play personally, I only play with one hand, right? So O would kind of be odd to me.
So then you.
When I played on the keyboard.
But I mean, so then you do key binding changes, because like there's no way you could play with one hand, like with the default keyboard.
Yeah, I thought I just did it normally. I don't know. I know I played like once with the keyboard and then went on the controller for like the rest of the time.
I mean, if you use controller, then yeah, but I mean, because you move with WASD and you hit with J and K, and like I don't think that's doable with one hand.
Oh my bad. I thought I had a hand on the mouse.
Oh, well,
Using those
that's
in-
another thing, because you can play with mouse and keyboard.
Ah, okay. That must be
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another thing. Yeah.
yeah, mouse buttons are actually mappable.
Mhm.
I personally also did change the key mapping. I played a lot of Nitro when I was younger, so it's cartoons. So it's always arrow keys and Z and X.
That's really rare. Actually, normally it's like the other way around.
Nah.
Did you dodge that without rolling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, apparently, diagonally, he can't hit you.
Damn. That's a new for me.
Do you go faster diagonally?
No.
No, actually you don't. Like that's usually a super common. Like it's not necessarily.
kind of like a glitch, yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a mistake or a bug. It's just something that in some games is not worth fixing. Like for example, if it's a turn-based game and the fights take place like in another area map or whatever, like it's not something that makes sense to fix, because like moving diagonally is not gonna give you a huge advantage. But in this case, where it's an action game, like if you if you moved diagonally, it could be way more advantageous than moving in a straight left or right or up or down. So
Yeah.
we did fix that. So you always move at the same speed regardless of direction.
Yeah, it's basically the shape of the hitbox.
Otherwise, you might have to like design parts of the rest of the game around that idea.
Actually, if I recall correctly, we had that thing, and especially when we were making the attack where he disappears and jumps on top of you. Like
Yeah.
making that attack, we noticed that hey, you can dodge it pretty easily. Like moving diagonally, this doesn't make any sense. So we fixed it at that point.
Okay.
Everyone say hi to Miss Signo Mom.
Missing no mom.
Hi. I'm missing them all.
Oh,
Dude, she's so badass. Just like there's and it's the most hilarious thing watching people see her for the first time. Be like, excuse me, what? It's otherwise a pretty polished, you know. Like you can tell that there are no missing assets. So like it's always like kind of a shock to see her like, wait, is this a missing asset or is she meant to look like this?
no, she's just paid DLC.
Oh yeah.
You don't get a
You
mom
have to-
unless you pay for him.
Yeah.
It's a social commentary.
Social commentary on how you need to pay your mom to.
It's all about capitalism, baby.
Oh yeah.
Missing no mom.
Capitalism, missing no mom.
I have no idea how I never made that connection. Like, obviously, I had seen that NPC that way for like months and never made the connection of missing no. And like, as soon as I think it was on Manly's video,
Yeah,
like
someone mentioned it.
the first comment I saw was something like, missing no mom can't hurt you. She's not she can't hurt you. I'm like, God damn it. How did I not see it? But she's right there, eating right beside you. Oh, here's another like I guess developer fun fact commentary here. The mini game, it was actually pretty hard to like get right the amount of button mashing, because like what you can mash on keyboard is like it's way easier to mash on keyboard than on controller, especially if you don't like reposition your hands in order to mash with your index finger. Like if you try to mash with your thumb, it's actually pretty slow. So it was just a ton of trial and error. And also like I remember Servant, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. But Servant particularly was like, dude, you have to mash way too fast. Like it's impossible to beat him legitimately. And then like someone else tried it and like destroyed Rock with the button mashing, and I was like, see, like you can actually beat him with these settings.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
is.
about whether you've played a lot of Mario Party.
yeah.
If you were raised on Mario Party, this is not an issue. Oh, and here's like another thing, like not only like if you don't press anything, the main character, like your bar, increases on its own anyway. And we did that. Like we wanted to have like the pressure of the mini game, but it was like kind of an accessibility thing. Like some people can't button mash even if they want to. So it was like, okay, you're not gonna like get blocked by this in any way. And also like I guess it's even fun, like this scene is even funnier for the people that button mash slowly, because
Yeah.
like, you get to see Rock choke for more time, I guess.
Jesus.
No.
Anything
So you can't lose in that scene.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Actually, I remember that it is actually
It's
intended
intended.
for him to to like start winning until he chokes. That's why he always says, I would have won if I didn't choke, even if he doesn't choke.
Yeah. So like that's actually it's implemented that you can lose. And if you somehow lose, like the cutscene is a bit different and it has different dialogue, but I guess that's inaccessible for the regular player. Like there's no way to activate that cutscene because Brock will just not move from once he chokes, he will not like move
Can you believe it?
more from
Once
that.
he chokes, he won't keep eating.
Yeah. And
Also consider
Fun,
also
fun.
consider the fact that Brock lacks teeth, so
Yeah.
True.
it's unfair for him anyway.
Well, actually, you never know. Don't like geese have teeth or something like that?
Rock a geese.
Maybe a game theory.
Rock the goose? Hello?
Oh my god.
I tried to cheat this part by pressing on controller and keyboard. Did it work? It should have worked, I guess. Like, I guess it's easier to. I don't know. Actually, I didn't.
Oh
I
yeah, like
never
you
tried
spam
that.
with both at the same time.
Yeah, like if you have auto controller detect, I don't know if it would like choke the game, pun intended. Like that constant change between input systems.
Maybe. Yeah.
But
I
don't
think that's
it should.
fixed. I think that's fixed right now. Like it shouldn't happen, but I don't wanna put my hand on the fire for that one. It's really funny that we were talking like, can you believe that when people choke they stop moving? God.
Truly amazing. Oh, I really like this dialogue here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually.
I really like the one when you go back up to your room.
I really like when you find Rock's notebook.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's
beautiful.
so much fun. Fun fact, you know the very last name he says, like it's something like Shadow Murderer of the Damned Moonlight.
Yeah,
That's actually like we used to play this game called Ragnarok Online. It's the worst game in existence, but we were absolutely addicted to it, like completely addicted to it.
I mean, I think the only reason we are not right now is because we had to suppress it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like, oh no, I want to play. It's like, fuck. But the thing is that we had a friend that had a younger brother, and he was at that time he was at that age, and he was full Chunibyo, like hardcore, and his character in the game was called Shadow Murderer. So the name comes from that. Like that's like an inside joke of us. Like it's always funny. Like whenever we want to make fun of someone acting like edgy and Chunibyo, it's always like, oh, Shadow Murderer. So we went ahead and put it on the game.
With a lot of X.
The name is so like Sasuke.
Yeah.
Oh, and we cannot brush past Rock's running animation. It was very deliberate, obviously. Like I thought twice. Like he has to run exactly like this. It's way too important. I'm glad. Like that's something that really exposes his character, I guess.
Yeah.
And one thing that should I say it? Fuck it, I'll say it.
Why not?
Swearing, oh my goodness.
So like you have to really notice when he runs with that pose and when he runs like when with the animation that he uses to move during battle. Like sometimes if you see the cutscenes, sometimes he'll move with either, and so like that's how you tell. Like that's just more info about his character, I guess, and his thought process on stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't notice that there was a different animation for different parts.
This is
Yeah.
extremely important, so
Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Wait, you can hug the dog at any time?
Yeah.
and it was a new update. It's perfect.
Man, oh, I've been missing out on Bittersweet Birthday.
Oh yeah.
You've been, yeah.
And wait, like I don't think we'll implement it like for anything other than the final game, or at least I guess beta for whoever gets the beta. But the plan is to have it last as much as you keep holding the button. Like if you keep holding the button, you'll keep hugging him.
Nice.
And like you can let go until you want to let go. And oh my god, such a good idea. So someone had that idea on a Reddit post, and it was like, god
Keep
damn,
hugging the dog.
you brilliant bastard.
Alright, so dog
Which, by the
person.
way, the dog post is the most popular so far, right? On Reddit, that's like the most popular.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
I mean, it's
totally
like
blew
that's
up.
cheating though. It's like posting cat pictures. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously everybody's gonna love them.
There's actually a cat in game, but he's just outside the camera in a specific area.
Damn. He's like the Cheshire cat from
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's drawn horribly by me. Like it's not an actual asset of the game. Like I made it, but I mean obviously in the final game.
Maybe we can show it.
Go to the yeah.
I
No,
mean,
I
it
don't
always,
think we can.
Not
it
on
always
the.
depends on the type of game that you're gonna make, but finding like those kinds of secrets that you literally can't see unless you like, delve really deep into the game are really interesting. And
Oh,
Imagine
yeah.
like going out of bounds and just fighting this weird ass cat right at the edge of the screen.
Honestly, it looks kind of like a Heartless from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Evident.
love secrets like that as well. They're really cool.
There's this game called Anodyne that's actually a game mechanic. Like when you beat it, you get the ability to like switch tiles from the game. Like literally, you can swap a wall tile for a floor tile, and now you can just like go out of bounds and like it's like actual part of the game. Like it's designed, you know. Like it's not completely like
Yeah. That kind
open
of
box.
reminds me of like Baba Is You, where like you just do whatever the hell you want with the words and
yeah.
it works.
That game's a total brain melt. It's actually a really cool concept.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
It's super complicated, but really fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't given it a try, but I think it's been on my wish list for like 5 years.
Oh, it's one of those games.
Yeah, it's one of those games.
You've been busy playing Ragnarok online.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
By the
that
way,
game. Oh
what-
my
what-
god.
what was the real manga that inspired this one? I don't remember.
But yeah, that actually, like, if you know it, you know it. For various reasons. First, the name is evocative of the real name, which is Lucifer's Biscuit Hammer. And this one is God's Biscuit Sledgehammer. And the cover, even though it's all pixelated, like you could recognize it, if you're a fan at least. And that is actually like at least top 3 of manga of mine. Like I really like reading manga over watching anime, and that one is like one of my favorites. That author in general, it's actually pretty influential on Bittersweet Birthday story. Like it's kind of
Which one? Sorry, which manga?
it's called Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
Oh.
Yeah. It's super good, like-
That's all Hammer should be.
That manga sales numbers are going to raise high after this stream.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're going to save the manga from complete and utter what's the word? Crap. Never mind.
Which, by the way, you also included another manga in,
Oh yeah. If
that
you
can be
if
seen
you
in the
go-
gacha machine.
if you go like right next to the gacha machine, there's like a small poster, I guess,
Oh yeah.
that has the first volume of Hunter x Hunter, which is actually my favorite. It's not only my favorite manga, it's my favorite thing ever. Like food,
Hunter x Hunter is
movies.
Yeah, but
Um,
I was also referring to the manga that can be seen here in this gacha stream. Remember?
Oh well, yeah. Like can you open up the gacha machine
Sure.
again?
Sure, there it is.
Want to know
Okay.
an interesting tidbit? Hunter x Hunter was the first anime I ever watched. Period.
Really?
Yes.
Dude, what a way to start. I'm so sorry. Everything went downhill afterwards.
You're absolutely absolutely 100% correct.
That's such a bummer. I'm so sorry, man.
The only thing that went up is the art, am I right?
Oh yeah, boy.
For anime, that's not a problem. For the anime, that's not a problem.
True.
And for the manga, if you read the official translations, it's not a problem because he went back and fixed.
Oh
all
yeah,
the-
I just mean like there at the beginning, like for example, my friend just started reading it because I recommended it, and he was like, he started reading it. The first chapter, like looked back on, and like the art was so
Yeah.
odd. Like
Yeah.
the characters were just not consistent at all. I don't
The,
know why.
the very first appearance of Leorio, it looks like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. Like he looks so ugly. Oh, but yeah, like, he eventually gets it up.
By the
So,
way,
okay,
in this
yeah.
quest, I remember that we did it actually to test like giving an item to an NPC, and it ended up like in the final game.
Oh yeah, and did you guys notice that that girl is actually called? Her legal name is Little Girl. That's her actual name.
That's what
Just so you guys know.
it's actually kind of sad.
It's just a bit of like this game is actually not that absurdist. It's pretty grounded, but it has hints of that I really like. Like I really like that type of like stories or just worlds. So I just injected a bit of it in certain spots.
It's pretty
But
grounded.
overall, yeah, this game is actually pretty grounded.
Yeah, we say as we rode with the giant bird alongside us.
I mean, there has to be a degree of
Yeah.
Hey, can we take a moment? Can we take a moment to appreciate those straws that can be seen on the bar? They're
the
like
straws.
Oh yeah,
like,
over here.
There are like 2 pixels.
I mean, you could actually tell they were
What about the
straws.
turtles? What about the turtles?
Turtles, where are the turtles?
The straws and the turtles, like
Oh. You mean like save the turtles?
You gotta save the turtles, dude.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Here's another like I guess just fun fact as well. The barkeeper is inspired by an actual real human person that we know. Cause like the very first time we showcased the game to the public was at a bar, like an actual bar, but it was one of those gaming bars that has like a ton of PCs and consoles and stuff.
That's cool.
And yeah, and like somehow they found out that we existed and we were making the game, even though at that point we hadn't even like publicized a lot of it. And they invited us to like they had an event of whatever, I can't recall, and they invited us to like be there and just having people play it and test it and give us feedback. And so at that same time, I was like coming up with the NPCs and giving the general ideas to Servant. And for that specific NPC, I told him like basically make him look like this. And yeah, so that's the guy is basically identical to a real life person, and the name is also pretty similar. Not exactly the same, but like if you know, you know. If you know him.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like those game jam events where like you actually showcase your game in real life. I don't remember what they're called, but yeah, it reminds me like a lot of that the way you're describing it, because it's not just like an internet cafe essentially, right? It's actually like they have
no, yeah.
something planned for game jam and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, freaking COVID, the bar shut down, unfortunately.
Oh, that's
But, yeah, but it was actually very cool to just go there. Like there were like N64s, PS1s, GameCubes, and they had like every game you could think of, and just you could just sit around and play. And there was this big section with decked out PCs, and you could play like whatever you wanted in there too. I mean, you had to consume some like with drinks or food, but it was
We were-
mostly like open.
We were also planning as a team to showcase another game that we did during the game. Remember? But it
Oh
got
yeah.
canceled.
Oh, maybe that. I don't think. Do you have it with you, Cyril?
I have the art somewhere, but I'm like sharing a specific window, so I don't know if.
No. Don't
Is there
do
a
it
chance?
then.
Is there a chance that we can include that as like a Easter egg in one of the consoles in one of the houses or something like that, like a mini game inside of the game?
It's not impossible. So for one game jam, we went like as a team. Like the whole team went as one team, except for the composer because he lives in the US. And we made a short game that was basically WarioWare Inc. Like just a bunch of mini games where like they were all like one tap or like just timing or mashing, and it was actually pretty fun. But yeah, we were supposed to. There was supposed to be an event where every team from the game jam would present it to the public in that gaming bar, but that never happened. Like it just got pushed and pushed and pushed, and eventually it was like, oh, COVID is here.
Yeah, I mean, it got pushed
Yeah.
because of COVID. But by
No.
the way,
It
right,
pushed
right.
for whatever, and eventually,
It,
It was
kind of
COVID.
collided with COVID.
yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I just wanted to say on the darts, like Rock get wrecked, and it is 100% based on luck because sometimes he just likes to shoot a bullseye, and
Dude,
that wrecks your score.
dude, sometimes
Wait. Those bullseyes are actually random.
yeah, completely.
Oh my god, really? I wouldn't
Yeah.
have expected that at all.
Dude, so sometimes like I'm just testing the game, and I'm like, okay, I have to win. And like 5 times in a row, he'll make a bullseye on the third attempt, and I end up having to play him like 15 times because he just keeps putting bullseyes.
Yeah, he didn't have any bullseyes in this run, if you noticed.
But
Those
what are the
really
odds of
effect
that?
darts. Well, no, New Game Plus literally only affects the fight. Like there are absolutely no other differences. And I'm not trying to like pull a leg here. Like that's true. Like the only difference in New Game Plus is the fight.
Wait, I need to do this 1 second.
I think Skelly was asking, by the way, like the odds of the bullseye.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like, it's the thing is that it's not like we make some calculus and say like, okay, do a bullseye. Rather, he has an area where the dart can land, and just like randomly it could land on the bullseye.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, like I couldn't say what are the odds because it's technically just the same odd as it landing at any other spot.
I mean,
But you're unlucky if it lands specifically there.
it could be considered like 20% because the smallest area is actually really small. The one where like the hardest version of the shot.
Yeah, because
But what's the
yeah, what's
difference between one spot and the other? Like 1 pixel?
yeah. It's based
Wow.
on pixel.
Wow.
By the way, I just wanted to say that this was very time consuming to make the footprints. So,
Oh yeah.
and it's funny because they are only here, they're not anywhere else in the game. Also the water reflection, like we actually spent a lot of time with the reflection system, and in the end this was the only area we could show that actually had water.
Remember, I started doing the footprints in the sand first, and
yeah.
I was like, I tried it for like 2 days, and eventually it was like, okay, I'm not smart enough for this. Siri, please do it yourself. He did it in one
Water.
day. I'm like, okay, I feel so inadequate or whatever.
Also the water. Do not underestimate the number of frames those.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the water in the fountains. Yeah, that's also like frame by frame.
No, I mean in the lake. In the lake. I did the lake.
In the lake,
even worse.
yeah. Yeah, that was you. That's all art.
Somebody's drinking water. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, that was a big gulp.
God damn it. And I've also never seen someone talk to this statue.
Oh, I didn't even know you could talk to it.
Oh yeah. Just go through it slowly so you
Yeah.
can read it.
The one that I haven't seen like ever, at least in one of the YouTube videos, is doing the whole like in the entire sequence of the main character's name.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
Well, let's hurt the children.
Hell yeah! Yes!
I remember
Kids.
this was like the one of the last quests we actually implemented because of the collision detection,
Yeah.
and it's still kind of wonky.
Like, yeah, if you speak with Hyde, the very frame that Zeke collides with him, it absolutely messes with the game.
Yeah, I mean you can fix it by just exiting the map, but still.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like reset kind of deal, but it'll get wonky as heck. Yeah.
Can you hear the truck outside? I don't know why there's a truck outside at 10 p.m. Sorry about that.
No,
I
we
can't
cannot.
hear anything, so I think you're fine.
Okay, because it says the microphone's still on.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, at least I don't hear it,
Alright.
so you're good.
Alright.
So yeah, this side quest with the kids was the very last side quest that we added to the game, and I think I even changed it up a bit, like literally the last day before the demo went public for the Indigo.
Yeah. Mostly like it was a bug fix. Like, alright.
Okay. With this one, shit, you just spoke to him from the front. Like he actually has, yeah, you can see it from there. He has two animations. Like when he's completely desperate and just like pleading with his arms open. But like if you can block him and not see the animation, unfortunately.
That's what
Like if you speak him
Like
on
that.
the side, there you can see it better.
Beautiful.
It's funny
Oh, yeah.
because
That
I love despair.
yeah.
that
Tell me
particular
about it.
scene was really hard to render, like all the clothes, and for them to look like very different one from the other. Yeah, that
Dude, I can only imagine, and make it look like really distribute the colors of the clothing in a way that
Yes.
doesn't look like bunched
Oh,
up or
man.
whatever. I can tell that was pretty hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like a lot.
But
so artistic engineering.
to be fair, I think that's maybe one of the best looking areas in the game, so I guess it was worth it.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking of the most complex areas to render to draw were the marketplace was like top one, but
Oh,
top two was
really?
the infirmary where you see the teddy bear.
Mhm.
That one took me like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, I recall.
But still,
Yeah.
I mean, such a pleasure to
Do you guys know that this cutscene was the very first cutscene we did on the game itself? Like there were other cutscenes we did to test like the system, and we shared one a few days ago that was ultra coursed. But this one was the first, like, okay, this is absolutely a cutscene I want in the game. Like this is a side quest, a story I want in the game. So this was the first one we did.
Yeah, this was basically like the first proof of concept that okay, this is actually a real thing. But I remember that it actually looked really weird with the default. There's an NPC that looks like a blob with a face, a pair of legs, and a hat. Everything was done with those NPCs.
The Mexican guy?
For a face.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, it was just like a super bad drawing of an NPC that I did on Paint, And so like
okay.
that still is the default image for an NPC. Like if for some reason the game doesn't find like the resource for an NPC, it'll use that image.
It's kind of like the same kind of thing as the first fight HUD and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
It's
worse.
that bad.
It's worse.
That guy with the hat should be a gacha.
It actually should.
That's actually a pretty cool idea.
It's a terrifying sprite, but it's still kind of cute.
It's such a horrible drawing, and at some point, like every single NPC was that NPC, like and it was hilarious just to walk around and like everyone you see was that guy.
It definitely sounds like a nightmare. I won't lie.
By the way, this is the cutscene that actually references Hunter x Hunter the most.
Oh yeah. That when
I was also gonna ask if there's any reference related or attached to the Baroness and the dog story that Faye and the other guys speak about.
that's actually not a reference to anything.
Is that not
Surprisingly. No, it's not.
I see.
Because it actually gets you engaged with the story. Like it makes you think that there's more
I mean, maybe in the full game you'll get to see like more of that like TV show. You know that there's so few people that find that coin, and it's like right there, like it's literally right there.
Yeah.
But, like so few people actually see it.
It blends really well with the ground. But the one that actually that's the worst place is this one. I don't remember why there's a coin there, but there is.
I do.
Like
You
even
can.
after the guy leaves, you can't go there, can you?
Well, I mean,
Not
she
yet.
never leaves. She never
Oh,
leaves.
it's a girl, my bad.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
girl.
I thought she left at some point.
No, she never leaves.
Okay.
So
I mean, if you
for this demo, that coin is unobtainable unless you boundary break or something.
Yeah.
You're
Which
playing with
actually-
fire.
Yeah,
Realm
speaking
of
of that,
Doom, that's what I
the game
was-
seems
was
pretty
wondering.
airtight. I didn't find any way to get out anywhere.
Oh, that's absolutely thanks to Pineapple Works, because they QA'd the hell out of the game.
I mean, even
And
before
ga-
that, like back
Yeah.
when you guys were first posting it around, and like
Mhm.
I was the primary QA.
I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also kind of thanks to you because you found a lot of bugs that we totally missed.
Yeah.
Welcome. Hey, stairs
Oh,
are
yeah.
scary. I understand.
Oh yeah. Dude, the stairs are the worst. And there's this section that you cannot visit on that it's in game, but you cannot visit in the demo. Like it's like there are no warpers that take you to that area. There are some stairs that holy crap, like they go like on top of each other and back and forth. Like at one point one stair is behind at that same stairs, at other points is like on top of another one. Holy
That caused
crap,
a lot of issues.
that was insane. And I didn't even make the implementation, Sirek did it, and I have PTSD on it. Like I don't know how he feels about it.
I don't know, man. The stairs are way too complex for what's actually shown in the game. It's kind of funny. It's like a whole, like this piece of architecture here is a whole system in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just like you go over it and
Yeah.
that's it.
Also, the balconies are a bit of
Oh yeah.
a
Like
bit
the
of-
fact that you can stand on top of it at some points and behind it and at others, it's also like was pretty messy too.
Man, in this part, this
Okay.
balcony over here, it actually causes a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
trouble.
Yeah. I think at some
Yeah.
point
I
you
remember
could
you guys.
do it.
I remember you guys asked me to change stuff on that balcony as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
Because we just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think actually here I have also never seen anyone speak to the books like until the end, like until the dialogue repeats. Like everyone I've seen only speaks to it once and like misses out on some deep lore.
Yeah, deep. I'm sure the lore is very deep. Book of lore
I
time.
think there are no NPCs that only have one dialogue. Everyone says at least they at least have like 2 versions of what they say.
Yeah,
Oh.
and some have like 6 different dialogues. If you skip, like if you keep speaking to them.
I mean, there are like I don't know, 30,000 words in this demo, something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot considering all of it is dialogue. The rolling ladder.
I remember that this quest was kind of a trip to design because we actually wanted to do the final part, but we didn't know how to get to that point, so the egg part we kind of wigged it.
Improvised?
Yeah, something like that.
So I don't know. I think the person that has played the earliest version of the demo is Ostrich. I think the very first demo that was released around Christmas didn't have that side quest. Like you couldn't like chase. Like actually, Emma dropped a book rather than her glasses.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
And
yeah.
she disappeared completely. Like there was no way you could speak to her again
Yeah,
after
I think I
she
mentioned it
disappeared.
too. I was like, what do I do here?
Yeah.
I remember playing that version too.
That was that. Like at that time, then we came up with the egg stuff. Like I remember that was very hard to come up with because we were like, dude, we have to have some mechanism, whereas like some item you have it but it's inactive at some point, but then it activates, but it has to be part of the side quest but also kind of not part of the side quest, because if you think about it,
Eggs in Pokemon or something? But
I mean, the egg hatches like hard coded. Like
Okay,
if you like, it always hatches when you're returning to the plaza after returning the plazas. Like, or more accurately, when you walk in a specific point in the plaza. Like if you, for example, Sirek, have you picked up the egg yet?
Yeah, it's over here.
You have it. So if you didn't have it, like then nothing happens when you go to the plaza.
Yeah, it actually should hatch right now.
Yeah, it will hatch. I mean, I hope.
Yeah.
So the specific point in the plaza is like inevitable. You can't dodge it. And
Yeah, you cannot dodge it.
I mean, you could give it a shot, but I think it can't be.
Well, I
skipped.
don't know if it would work because, like, for example, if it's just at the entrance there, when
Yeah.
you enter the other side, even if you enter from like the very edge of the door, it still puts you in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could possibly dodge that.
And I mean, like we made sure that the area covers the specific part right there.
The Lord of the Dead
Any-
himself.
Any insight on that name? Or is it too early for the world to know?
No, it's fine. So like one of if not, no, I mean it's not my favorite game, but it's one of my favorite games, at least like emotionally, because it like I played it when I was really young. It's Final Fantasy IX, and in that game, like it's still old enough, whereas there was this cliche where the final boss would be like some sort of god or alien that showed out of nowhere without context and without any previous build-up from the story. So for Final Fantasy IX, you spent the entire game thinking, oh, this guy is the beatback guy. And then you beat him thinking like, oh, that was the final boss, right? And then out of nowhere comes this other guy, like he's like, I don't know what the hell it is.
The most random guy ever.
The most random guy has nothing to do with the story at all, and he's like, that's the final boss. And so, like, I always hated that, even though it's one of my favorite games. But like, come on, man. Like, why would you do that? And so, like, it's always like it's the same for Servant. Like, that's also one of his favorite games. And we both agree that that's super dumb and like doesn't make any sense. So we were always messing around, like, where are we gonna put Necron on this game? 'Cause that's the name of the final boss
He
of
has
Final
to
Fantasy
appear,
IX.
yeah.
Like, he has to be in the game somehow. And
Yeah.
so when we made that little chicken, I was like,
Yeah.
it's the time. Necron, the
Yeah.
Lord of Death, has arrived.
I'm glad you're really delving into giving us a sneak peek as to what the alternative ending is to Bittersweet Birthday. I'm really looking
Okay,
forward
like-
to
We're
Necron.
just fighting Necron? Yeah.
He's actually the final boss. Like he comes out of the game and actually wrecks your computer.
So is that how you get the Necron memory? Beating
Yeah.
Necron in real life? Like,
You have to
Sonic
punch a
Value.
chicken in real life. Dude,
And it was
like,
almost like 2 years. That
literally
joke.
2 years, that inside joke until we finally put the chick on the game.
Yeah.
So,
How
yeah,
long have you been
that's-
working on this game?
Oof, quite a while actually. So one thing that it's worth noting, I guess, is that like Ostrich said the game is actually pretty solid in terms of like its programming. And the thing is, I've said this before, but I guess I'll say it again. This is not really a demo or a vertical slice. It's more like the actual full game, but only until certain part of the game. You know, like literally every system is already in there. Like as we were talking about the stairs, like there are stairs in the game. Like we already programmed how they should work, even though no part of the what's available on the demo uses that. And like that.
Oh, okay.
So like that level of programming implementation, like you could find like everywhere. Like there are things that happen in cutscenes that are programmed, but you don't see on what's available in the demo. And same thing with dialogue, and same thing with the battle system, and with memories. Like we just went really ham. And honestly, looking back on it, perhaps it wasn't the best, most efficient way to go about it. But I mean, just being honest, we had no idea what we were doing. So,
I mean,
and actually,
It seems like
Yeah.
a great strategy for like an Indiegogo campaign, because then it doesn't take 4 or 5 years because you're still...
that's definitely true. Like at this point, like we really need money mainly for the assets, because like the battle system is done. Everything that is needed to make side quests or to progress on the story is done. Item exchange, gachas, like it's literally just like making more assets and actually writing down the dialogues and
implementing
putting
them.
the cutscenes in the game.
Yeah, one of those
So-
like rarely used systems. One of these dialogues has like a gibberish effect. Like one of the words is actually corrupted. There's a whole system behind that, and it is only used in this specific dialogue in one specific word for now. Or those kind of things.
I think if you speak to Cooler, she also speaks one word with gibberish. But I mean,
Oh,
the
really?
point
Yeah.
stands. Like it was a whole system, and then in the demo you only see it literally in 2 text boxes.
but I mean, making it now makes it so you don't have to make it later.
True,
Exactly.
true. And also like, it definitely felt like we had to do it because we didn't have any reputation. So we really wanted our first like public outing, I guess, as developers, to be as polished as possible. So yeah. So like taking that into account, that's the reason why we've spent so much time on development until now. And
Well,
I
and
mean,
also
even then-
because
yeah, I mean, even then, it hasn't been like a straight arrow of constant development. We've had periods of months where we can't do anything for personal reasons or whatever. So,
Yeah.
like, if you asked me for specific dates, I'd say like the game as it exists now started development in like 2018.
Like mid to
Ish.
late 2018.
And then yeah, but before that it was a lot of like aimless developing basically. Like
Also-
we really like
Also,
Uh-huh.
worth noting for the guys that are also in the chat, like a lot of time was spent on writing the story. Which is
oh
also
yeah,
very-
oof.
Of course. Yeah, and so also what I wanted to add is that not only the game systems have been already developed, but also the story, like the full arc, like many of the things that these guys are writing, and many of the things that these guys are like projecting the story towards, has been already like decided. So they're not improvising on the story and
Yeah, that
Yeah,
that seems very
that's
compared
weird.
to play the game.
setups that you get to see on the demo.
Yeah, I mean the story is literally complete. Like from beginning to end, it's done.
Yeah.
All that's left. So that's why perhaps the demo feels so complete to the point that some people like get surprised at the end when we pop up and say like, hey, thanks for playing our demo. Like a lot of videos we see on YouTube, like they reach that part and are like, this was a demo. Because like literally everything is done, everything is planned. So all of the setup and for every single NPC and line of dialogue, like literally everything is thought of. Like if it's not straight up relevant to the plot, then it's relevant to the themes.
Yeah.
And like it maybe like you could appreciate it like just at face value for now, but hopefully when the full game is released, like it's one of those games that you when you replay, you are like, oh my god, like everything was there from the start, like, and everything builds up to this theme and this other thing. And yeah, that was something that definitely took a lot of time, cause I had never written a story before writing
Yeah.
this one.
This is basically a first for everything. You see here.
Yeah, like, this
You
is
guys
the
are doing a
first.
damn good job for a first for everything. Jeez.
Yeah, thanks, me. So this is the first story I write. This is the first time we develop a game, like except for a shitty game jam game.
By the way, the cuts over here, like if you could actually scroll the
Oh,
camera
yeah.
a bit higher, you could see it.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was above the beach. I remember.
No, it's right there.
There's something there.
Hey, I want to ask something real quick. When you mentioned that you implemented a system to corrupt the names, like
Mhm.
you actually wrote the real name and then the system corrupts that real name, or just a like
No, yeah, that like if you could see the dialogue, you would spoil yourself.
wow. So
Are you telling
and
me
is
my
there?
data mine?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I yeah. That's what I
Yeah,
was going for.
perhaps we'll change that. But at this point,
I mean,
well, actually, I think like the actual text says like it's question marks, but they could say the actual names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was my concern.
the gibberish is
That was
not
my
a one-to-one mapping, so you can't like
Oh yeah, because
decipher.
the characters shift around. So Sirek, I think the quest you're missing is speaking to Cooler about a bunch of times.
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna ask like, wait, what am I missing? Because I know I'm missing
that-
something.
And gadgets. I think you
Yeah, the
haven't pulled
gadgets.
out the gadgets.
Going for
Yeah.
gadgets.
I'm actually loaded with coins, so yeah.
So who
How many
would
codes are in total in this demo?
I think there are 10.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
Who exactly writes the dialogue, or is it multiple people?
It's me. I write the dialogue.
Okay.
Couch is
All the
just like a
magic
good.
comes from the great evil.
Ah, there it is. This is the gibberish we are talking about.
So if you look at it, like it constantly changes. So like there's no way to decipher it. Like the most you could decipher it is that it's a 3-letter word. Like, and that's basically it.
It's not like an actual code, it just picks a random thing.
Yeah, it just picks a random thing. Simple.
which that three-letter name is.
Yeah,
No,
missing no one.
I have my theories, but they shall wait.
Necron.
Necron is not a three-letter name. There.
You're not gonna pull the gachas?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, the guy.
I mean, you already messed up if you already
No.
you're still missing something.
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna pull the gachas first before I figure out what was missing.
I think you might be missing. Did you return the sale?
I think so.
So,
Let's see.
I'm not gonna say what, but in the gacha screen there's a spoiler.
really?
What?
Yeah.
Really?
It has to be
You're not
at the bottom left,
Hot
right?
drop out of nowhere.
There's also a very nice reference. Can you read what the issue number is on that manga volume?
Yeah.
Well, now I can't.
Whenever it shows.
Issue number. Is this issue number 3?
I don't know. No. Keep looking.
Huh. It's there it is.
I see a big ass 9.
It's 69.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's the issue that you want to get.
How is there even an issue 69 of Shonen Jump?
You
It's
don't
not
know,
showing
like,
jump,
doing
it's
it
showing
weeks in a
weekly.
year.
An original
They
creator
got it in
about.
It's copyright friendly. And you don't know, maybe in this planet we have more than 52 weeks a year.
True.
Hmm?
Dang.
Maybe
Is that
maybe
part
exactly.
of the like deep lore you mentioned earlier?
I don't know.
Specifically 69 weeks in a year.
It's the perfect
69 weeks. 69 weeks, yeah, the
The
perfect.
perfect
unit.
amount.
That's the best timeline.
perfectly balanced
Actually-
as all things should be.
Actually, ours didn't have 60 minutes, but 69.
Epic.
69 seconds per minute as well. Yeah, it's full cycle.
420 days in a year.
Epic number, hell yeah. Dude, I love this expectation screen, like the build up so much.
It's beautiful.
Metatron.
Oh,
Metatron.
We get biblically accurate angels in Bittersweet Birthday.
Old Testament be like.
No Halo BS. No Halloween BS.
No.
I'm not being pointed by simply gazing at them. How is that
Oh, wait.
accurate?
Yeah, how does that work?
Soul Crucible.
Do you guys
So
get the
edgy.
reference?
So edgy.
Do you get the reference for that?
Oh, I mean, the design reminds me of the Greed Island arc design for like
Oh.
the entrance place.
That's actually not it, but I just noticed that
actually
it
looks
kind
like
of looks like that.
Yeah.
The actual reference is if you've played Nier Automata,
Oh,
the-
yeah.
the black box that's inside every
Like you're gonna
Android.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was worried that you were gonna spoil something on your automata.
No, I mean you see that in the
Yeah,
the
that-
end of the tutorial, I guess.
Yeah, true. I remember now.
Quick question. Like, did you guys get like stuck trying to figure out how to use this screen? Like, what to
I got
press or something? Yeah.
Not personally. I think I played a game that had something similar before, though, so maybe that helped. But I didn't personally get.
Oh yeah, you have all nine.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm.
Let me see your items.
I don't know.
What? You're
Oh,
getting
did-
9 coins.
Do you guys know? Do you guys know that like every gacha has like different descriptions from like they have descriptions. Like you could get more info on them by reading their item descriptions in the menu.
I actually went because I wanted to see like if I had them on, and I went to the menu to see. Yeah, I thought that's really cool.
Yeah. Did you decipher
This
the
one.
Metatron one?
I don't remember. I must not have because otherwise I would have remembered.
Yeah, this
That's a
one.
little Easter egg, I guess. Well, yeah, I guess let's call it an Easter egg.
Wait, so you're telling me that in this gacha system you're guaranteed to get all the different results? That's not
Just for the demo. Just for the
Maybe.
demo.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we wanted everyone to have fun, so this version, like,
Yeah, because
Fun in a gacha game?
yeah, yeah, the fun of gambling.
Fun of gambling.
so at first it was like that, like you had to be lucky, but then a lot of people missed out on a bunch of them. So we're like, oh, at least for now, because we have to implement a way for you to get them all, even if it's random.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
like,
no, I'm just...
yeah, we didn't have the time to add a way to, like, I guess, create more coins. Like for now, you only get the coins through side quests and
Okay.
finding them laying on the ground.
By the way, this,
But at some point, you'll be able to like get more. Just like, oh, I need more coins. You'll be able to do that.
to add to the lore, these two guys are basically called 69, but in Spanish.
Oh yeah, that's it. Dude, I'm so bad. Like, I guess it might be hard to tell, but I'm so bad at coming up with names.
Oh, I
And,
know you.
like when I was creating the name for those two guys, like I literally spent like days like wasting time like on something super not important. Like I just couldn't move on from creating the name for those guys, and eventually I was like, okay, screw it, 6ix9ine, whatever, like I don't care. Like maybe some people will find out, maybe some others won't. I really don't care, so whatever. And I put it in the game just like that.
I'm pretty sure I was missing this guy.
I think he doesn't count as a side quest. I might be. I think it does. You didn't show me your item list.
Oh,
So I might be able to figure out what you're missing.
wait. Yes, okay.
The blue book thing is the blue book line is probably my favorite.
This one.
No, the one where it's like all about you, all you need
Oh,
to
yeah.
know about the color red.
Yeah, the one at the bottom.
Yeah, I really like that line.
And so for people to know, like that wasn't coordinated. Like I just draw a book on the floor and then Ouch wrote that down, which I think is brilliant. But that was not coordinated or planned. It was just like full.
That was another of those things that was like, how do I make it interesting to interact with a book on the floor? And that also took me like a few days, like just not doing anything else but trying to come up with that dialogue. And in the end, it was like, okay, screw it.
And
There you go.
and the effort is totally worth it because I've seen a lot of YouTubers like actually
laugh
breaking
at it, yeah.
that joke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So keep doing it.
I think you have to exhaust the dialogue with the guy that refuses to do his laundry.
Right. Yeah, there.
Mhm.
Yeah, like if this game was just the rock fight, I don't feel like I would be nearly as interested in it as
Yeah.
I normally would. But like the dialogue and the town and the story really kind of like make it feel like a full, like,
Oh
like
yeah,
a very
yeah.
like a very good experience.
It also makes it feel different from other like boss rush type games. A
Yeah,
lot of them are just about the bosses and don't really care about the world. Like the world building is done through the bosses.
well, there's
Yeah, that-
definitely games that have like the main attraction being the bosses, but care a lot about like world design. But a lot of those games are also like really good. So it makes them. I don't know. Even if it doesn't make unique, it does make you similar to some very high quality games, which is good. I mean, if you're aiming for high quality, which you obviously are.
Yeah. So actually,
Yeah.
I'm glad you point that out, because that was absolutely like my inspiration for this game was a couple of things. First, a boss rush was cheaper than otherwise, that not a boss rush. But also I noticed exactly that most boss rush like don't, it's not that they don't have a story, but rather the way they tell it is kind of like Dark Souls tells its story, like mostly through environment and like small hints here and there, but they don't really have like a plot, you know, like a story from beginning to end with a ton of characters and stuff. And that's my type of game. That's the type of game I like. I love story JRPGs. Like those are my favorite. So like it was an opportunity of like, I've never seen this, at least not personally. So it would be cool to make it just on that merit of being unique. It was enough. But also it was like an interesting challenge, because since I had never seen it before, I had no idea if it was something that would work.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, this is a cool challenge to have. Like let's see if this is something that we can make work, or if it's something that doesn't have any merit. And that also ties into the fact that the demo is so long and reaches until this point, and there's so much optional stuff, because if we couldn't show you this, then we weren't showing you what the game actually was. Like if the demo only reached until the end of Rock Fight, and then I told you like, oh, but there's this section where there's a ton of optional stuff and charming dialogue and funny things happening. Like
it would feel
it's
way
not
too much, way too incomplete.
Yeah, it's not that you wouldn't believe me, but you wouldn't like get it. So like we pushed hard to make the demo like last until this specific point, so you could get the flavor of like the two main like ways, I guess you could say, you have to play the game.
Yeah, the bitter and the sweet part.
Exactly, and that was also part of the pitch of the name, I guess, like because, well, you have the, I guess, bitter part being the combat and the sweet part being the exploration in the town.
By the way,
And it just felt incomplete to share like without that. So that's one of the main reasons. Like we basically felt forced to go as ham as we did. And it's not like we regret it. It's cool. I mean, and it worked because the commentary on the game is like stellar. Like I don't think we've received a negative comment other than it's too hard, and I can live with that.
I mean,
So-
yeah, I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have liked to do it any other way.
Yeah.
I think it also makes the demo stand out, right? Because most demos are like one mission and like
Yeah.
maybe two missions, but you have like a few hours of gameplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get ready.
That's
Depending on how long you spend on Rock.
but yeah, I mean, even if you beat Rock first time, and you have like over an hour, I think you want to like do everything.
Yeah. If you do everything there is to do in the town, especially if you don't know everything there is to do, and you just explore until you're satisfied. Like there's a ton to do, honestly.
Yeah.
Like to the point where where I'm kind of worried about how to add to that for the final game.
There's
so
still
like-
a lot left.
Yeah, and there's a lot left. So
So I have a question
Yeah.
about like,
yeah. Go ahead.
so with the cutscene,
Which
does
person?
this one, does she allude to the fact that she's a guardian of this place before?
I cannot confirm your gameplay.
Okay. That's all good. I just wasn't sure if I was supposed to know that.
I mean, you're-
Talk about that with us.
at this point you're actually like we were saying earlier, the story is done, so all of the setup that has to be done is already done, so technically you could decipher a lot from the story. Hi Relma. And the thing is that you have no way to confirm your suspicions because, well, the demo ends. But, like, honestly, you could discover a lot of the story just by playing the demo. Like, a lot. And, like, seeing you guys' theories in lore theories and other times that we've streamed, like, honestly, you are so short. Like, there's so much more. I'm not gonna say on what things, but yeah.
By the
Like
way,
you obviously have no way to confirm them, like your suspicions, but yeah, there's a ton here
yeah,
being set up.
everyone press F in the chat for your boy here.
Oh, poor boy. That's one of my favorite NPCs.
I wanted to add two things regarding one of the you guys' comments. That you were saying that the whole town area like speaks about the heart and the intention of the game, the perfect mood and all that. But something that perhaps you didn't notice and that can be seen in the campaign is that the town will have both day and night cycles,
Yeah.
which I think is something that many people haven't touched yet. And the other thing that I want to mention, and I don't know if you guys want to talk about what will imply that there's a day and night cycle couch in Xeric. But the other thing that I want to
No, it's fine. I mean, if you've read the campaign pitch, I guess, you probably already noticed that there are a few screenshots and gifs of the town during the night. And so, and obviously, if you play this demo, even if you complete everything that there is to do, like most of the side quests are set up. Like for example, the whole thing with Emma and Cecil, like that doesn't get resolved, obviously. So the thing is that you continue the side quest through the passage of time, like because you will return to the village like during the night and a bit later, and so you follow the stories through that. Like you do a bit of the story the first time that you go to town, and then you continue it the next time that you return. So yeah, that's another thing that's pretty neat, if I say so myself.
One of the other things you said that you're planning on having like a system for like making the gacha system like randomized, but like also making sure that everybody gets all the content.
Yeah.
Gacha heist. Just lockpick open the thing and choose which baubles you want.
No, I mean that specific mechanic, we still have to consider our budget. So like we have ideas for it, but what we can do with it will depend on our budget.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, but the thing is, the important part about it is that it will be randomized. What the fact that you'll get repeated gachas, because the thing is that right now it is randomized, but what it isn't is like you cannot get repeated gachas right now.
Yeah.
Or at least it exhausts you getting all of them until you get repeated ones, because there are 9 gachas, but there are 10 coins you can get. So like the 10th coin will be a repeated gacha, but it'll wait until then. So in the final game, you can get like twice in a row the same gacha, but there will be ways that like there won't be exactly the same amount of coins as the same amount of gachas. And also considering that you can be very unlucky and get like multiple repeated ones, like there will be a way to basically get more coins than the ones that you get through side quests and just finding them around.
Like you
I
actually have a
don't-
money system.
I don't want to say what exactly because I don't want to like make promises, I guess.
Yeah, we still
But
haven't figured that part out.
mhm. But yeah, you can expect that. Like that's the expectation
I mean,
of the system.
you won't get like 10 Metatrons in a row, hopefully.
Or will you?
Maybe it's part
Maybe
of the
that's a
lore.
sign. Hmm.
God damn.
All right, ostrich. Yeah. Oh, Mary. And here you get the headbutt, the famous headbutt. You know, it was really hard not like making the small leg on that monster not look like a penis.
I'm not sure
But
if
I,
we
I, I
managed to do that actually.
no, I think we managed to do it. I don't know. I like to believe so.
He can't be dead. He can't be dead. He had a little green sliver of health.
I mean
We'll get to see
that
more of that monster with the 50% update, right?
oh yeah, I mean we already are at 50%, but that happened
Yeah.
It's true.
so like shortly before the stream that we didn't have time to make the post. But yeah, there's a post coming celebrating the 50%, and there's like a really cool drawing that Servant did. And it's just like more like it's an appetizer for the lore, I guess. Like there's a bit you can see there and look forward to.
I think Mary already saw it, but
Whoever follows us on Instagram has already seen it.
Yeah, it is a heavy bump.
Yeah.
are you gonna attempt the new game plus?
Yeah.
Like, can you?
Yeah, I think you should. And then after the fight, we can end the stream.
Yeah.
Because I think we've been at it for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, almost. Like literally 1 hour 54 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-hour demo.
That depends.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's longer, honestly, because like
Yeah.
Sirik went straight for the objectives. You know,
Exactly.
like if you're playing it for the first time, you don't know where anything is, then it'll take longer.
Yeah, you could optimize if you like actually remember every single route, which surprisingly I didn't. But yeah, around an hour and a half or 2 hours, something like that. By the way,
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone mention that the new game is a bit glitchy here.
Oh yeah.
That's like
See,
the,
it's
the prompt to telling you that something's gonna be different.
yeah.
I remember that when we were actually planning the cutscenes and everything, the system itself, before anything was written, I actually took inspiration on how Dark Souls seemed to handle its side quests, like how stories interconnect between them, to actually develop what we have here. That's why technically quests are connected between them. There are a lot that require you to do something with a different character, and you can do it in basically any order. So that was
Oh, dude, that system is robust as hell. Like it handles like literally everything that you can throw at it. And like literally, like I was saying before, like what's available on the demo doesn't even begin to cover like what we can do with the system. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But it's also one of those things like, did we over-engineer it?
I
No,
don't,
we didn't.
I don't think so, because there's nothing that's unused. It's just that it's used like once.
Oh yeah, well that's true. I mean, I don't think we can blame ourselves because like we're mainly programmers, like both of us. So it's really hard to do like a bad job or something. Like just like on the inside, you feel like there's no way I can do it this simply. Like only like this system can only handle this case and breaks in every other case. Like I can't have that. So
Well, the thing
so
is
we
that,
ended up over engineering a bit.
and the great thing is
sometimes.
that like the story writing process was a bit behind the system implementation, so the system had to handle basically anything that could be thrown at it. So
Oh yeah.
that's why it's so flexible.
Yeah, because the story took a lot of time and effort to write. Because like, as I said before, this is the first time I write a story. So there was a lot of research just on the science of writing stories. And there was a lot of editing. Servant helped, oh my god, so much on the editing of the story. And making the characters more tight and their motivation and their character arcs and all that. So yeah, that took a while.
I would give you suggestions on what path you should take, but then you would go like 3-4 days on writing something, and then you would come back like, hey, I did this, and you would do a really good job. Like,
Yeah.
But I would just show you the path. You were the one that actually.
No, but it was still like ridiculously helpful. Like the story wouldn't be anywhere near as well told as it is if it wasn't for those sessions we had where we like sat down to figure out stuff.
And those sessions were like full day sessions.
Yeah.
Like
always
oh my
thinking
god.
about
Like,
the story,
literally-
the theme.
Yeah, literally the entire day on Servant's house, just like talking about the
Yeah.
story, like literally the entire day, like for multiple
like-
days.
Yeah, exactly. Multiple.
Dude, oh, as Dodge is so much better. I refuse to use space as the dodge roll.
I mean, you can't be wrong about things, and that's okay. We still love you.
Dude, I'm absolutely correct here. It's more ergonomic. Your finger lays on the O right there.
You're a psychopath.
You get the lowest the lowest love tier, but we still love you.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, if you beat the hard mode rock without dodge rolling,
I am gonna dodge roll. That bet's off already.
you're not
That
a
would be a pretty fun
gamer.
achievement for Steam. Beat the game without dodge rolling.
I'm sure someone will come up with that challenge. We'll be able to make it.
I mean, hopefully based on skill and not on a bug, but yeah.
The ending of the Mary says the ending of the demo was much more sad with that memory. Oh yeah, like there was actually like that was the third or fourth image we used for the memory because it was like this one's good, but we can make it even more heartbreaking. So like I would ask Schweiss to make it again.
I
Because
remember
like
that.
it had to be an absolute punch to the gut. So yeah,
I remember the
I'm
first
not
ones.
sorry. I'm not sorry about being
About
the great evil,
feeling
Breaking
basically.
your hearts.
Yeah.
I remember that the first one was way less gut wrenching, and Rob basically looked like a carrot for some reason.
Yeah. He really did. He really did look like a carrot on the first one. Oh yeah. dude.
Carrot? Like
Yeah,
you
he
mean the
looked.
vegetable?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant parrot,
No,
No,
carrot.
like a
like the
carrot.
bird. Oh, okay. What? I haven't seen
Yeah.
that.
I don't know how to describe it, but that was one of the first things I thought when I saw it, and Sirek too. So I guess he really did look like a carrot.
What?
How long do you suspect the game, if you can make the game, how long do you expect the finished game to be?
So if we like manage to gather the adequate funds, it's really possible that we can actually deliver on the estimated time, which is December 2022.
Oh, I think he's talking
But-
about like how long the game will take to beat.
Okay. I'm sorry, I misheard. the goal at first was like between 10 and 15 hours, but honestly, looking at this demo and knowing how much of the story it covers, it'll probably be a bit more than that. Maybe, but not much. Maybe between 15 and 20 hours.
Okay, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, but if you're like able to beat like all the bosses, like
I mean, and that's considering that you like beat everything on the first try.
Okay.
So if you add to the fact that you'll most likely die at least a couple of times per fight, yeah, then that adds up
That's
to the playtime.
that's super
Yeah,
fair
you're also-
considering that
Yeah.
like some AAA games are maybe only like double that. And they have huge
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also a matter of trying to not overstay your welcome. So like, it's so weird. Like, it's actually a pretty interesting conversation because like some people think, and they're not necessarily wrong. It's just like, I guess, different priorities. But some people think that games should be as long as possible, basically. And if I don't get X amount of hours in return for Y amount of dollars that this costed me, like then it was a bad purchase. Like some people think like that. I think that basically everything needs to be as long as it needs to be. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that-
that's smart.
Yeah,
Like, if
everything
you're
depends on
considering-
what can be delivered, what you want to deliver.
Yeah.
Because if the game ends up being 15 hours, that's longer than it took me to beat Resident Evil 7, and that's a AAA game.
Yeah, exactly.
That has huge budget and huge everything. So
Yeah.
that's
also
that's probably more than anybody could ask for.
Yeah. By the
You have
way,
to also consider the difference between doing the main campaign strictly and adding those extra hours for the side quests.
by the way, I think we should make a small change over here, like putting the bear in the range where people actually notice that you can interact with it, something like over here. Just because,
No,
I don't know, I've seen a lot of people like skipping the bear.
The thing is that the memories are kind of meant to be that like this might get a revision, but for now my philosophy on the memories is that they are a reward for exploring.
Yeah.
You know.
Also,
So-
any change in that scene is a pain in the ass in terms of lore.
Yeah, that
Like,
actually,
yeah.
I actually noticed that when you mentioned like how long it took you to draw this. I mean, I was aware it was
Oh,
a
man.
pain in the ass, but I didn't remember that it was that pain in the ass. But I mean, it looks gorgeous.
That's
so it
probably-
makes sense.
For me, it's the most like memorable area of all because it has so many. It's not about the details. It's about the complicated like the engineering of layers
Yeah.
involving the doors and the lighting, which you know they're the ones implemented. But in terms of-
Yeah, I know. I mean, exactly. I put the assets in game, and I remember there were so many layers, so
my-
much fidgeting. Like, oh shit, this one's actually on top of the other one, and it was like weirdly unintuitive. Like you would expect, like, okay, this object is like here, so it should be on front, and it was like, no, that one's actually on the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's absolutely a pain to implement. But I think it was worth it.
Let's see
It was
how-
only a little bit harder.
You know,
Did you put the memory?
I've heard some people say that this fight is actually easier than the first one.
Probably
I don't
they
know.
already used from the first one. And they already know.
It's not for me. It's harder. I mean, this one I can't be consistently. Like I lose at least half the times I try it. But yeah. Oh, you didn't activate the memory? Hardcore. Here goes for the gamer mode. Get
Maybe
wrecked.
then it's because
Get wrecked.
the effort that it takes to
Get
beat.
wrecked. Come on, man.
Shut up.
So Sirek, tell us about the new systems that you need to implement on the Find Rock.
Well, Wait, wait, I can't speak right now. What the-
Also, could you tell me your favorite video game and movie? Same time.
Could you give me an essay on Planos Commodus?
No, unfortunately, I can't.
Get wrecked.
And if you could do it in Latin, it would be useful as well.
Big Latin, please.
Absolutely wrecked.
Did you pick the memories? Mike? Any of the memories?
He picked it, but oh, I guess I did.
It didn't say.
Hmm.
Let me pick it again.
Ooh.
No, I mean that's it. I wouldn't call it a bug. It's because it's not a bug, at least not in the terms of programming. But it is.
It is like
Is it-
inconvenient. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like a
inconvenient.
quality of life update.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
says.
Because it makes sense that progress wasn't saved if you didn't save after you died. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
no,
it's,
that makes
it's
sense.
yeah, it's just a bit inconvenient. But like it makes perfect sense that if you didn't save, like it didn't save.
Yeah.
Relma, were you going to say something? Okay. This hard mode fight was actually very fun to design. I had a lot of fun. I really like the attack where he does the pulse of feathers. That's the full ring, like you cannot walk through them, but they move like super slowly and they just
They wreck.
keep expanding. Like I love that attack. Yeah, I love that attack. He missed.
This was also the first area that I got to design, right? Like the background area. This was like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first one.
Look, Relma says that adds replay. I didn't see the chat on the Discord. Relma says that adds replay value, like the first playthrough adds input, but on the second you appreciate what's foreshadowed. Yeah, that's absolutely the point. I mean, it's like one of my favorite things ever. I know I said Hunter x Hunter, and it is, but I guess the second thing of my favorite things ever is One Piece. And One Piece has that thing where it's like 1,000 chapters in, and if you reread it, you notice like, wait a minute, this thing that happened on chapter 900 was foreshadowed from like chapter 3. What the hell? And it makes it so much better, and so that's something that I wanted to make sure was here in the game. And then Mary says the black zone is definitely easier. Yeah, that particular attack, like, actually both are really easy. Like they are hard to like figure out what that you have to do, but the actual thing that you have to do is super easy.
Do you have
Yeah.
any plans for the combat system? Or have you gotten any feedback on like when an enemy can heavy attack and like when that will actually stun them, whether versus when it'll just do damage?
At first, like on the very first demo that released near Christmas, the main problem we had was that the tutorial itself sucked.
Yeah.
Like we did not convey the mechanic well at all, and for the second, like we fixed it, and basically the one that's now in the game is the second attempt at that tutorial. That one is much better because like it actually forces the boss. Like you cannot spam through it, so you're kind of forced to read it. Not forced, obviously. Some people still skip it. But what we found is that if you read the tutorial, you know how it works. If you don't, then you don't. So something that could maybe be worked on is to make it more obvious, such that even if you did not read the tutorial, you can still figure it out.
Yeah, you can be like, oh, he flashes. That's a weird thing, maybe.
Yeah, because right now, I guess there's so much stuff happening on screen that I've seen playthroughs where people don't notice that he's flashing red. So,
Oh,
yeah, so, I mean, I guess it's because, like, to me, in my eyes, it's like that's impossible, but I've seen it happen, so it's like, I cannot ignore that. So probably what we're gonna end up doing is like making the effect much more obvious. Maybe he'll have like an aura around him that's more obvious, but it's super weird because the color red.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
The color red in games it's super weird because sometimes it means danger and sometimes it means that something is weakened. So it's like if he's glowing red and you don't know why, like you didn't read the dialogue, you may get confused if he's actually stronger at that moment or weaker. So I remember at some point you know that the white glow he has around him when he's doing the big attacks where you cannot like hit him. At some point when he was weakened, he had that effect but on red. But then the people that played it thought that he was stronger at that point, not weaker. So like we removed it for that reason. So something. Yeah.
Kind of makes sense because, like,
Yeah.
in the white form, he's invincible. So,
Yeah. So it's a problem. I think right now we have figured out the mechanic, like for the people that read the tutorial. Now we have to improve it for the people that don't. And I wish I could say like fuck people that don't read the dialogue. All my homies hate people that don't read dialogue. But like, but the truth is that you have to design it the proper way anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
What
that's
about-
something that could be better, absolutely.
What about adding that, like an
Excuse
option
me?
in the- What about
Oh.
adding like an option in the menu where you can access like again?
And that's possible.
You know?
Can you go ahead, Skeledude?
oh, I was just saying that you beat the boss pretty quickly. That's all.
Oh, you beat it. Nice.
Yeah.
It took what, four attempts?
3, I think.
Yeah, it was 3,
Right.
right?
That's
Yeah,
good
three.
enough. It's good enough.
I mean, we are the devs. We kind of need to be able to beat him.
Oh, dude, guys,
Not beating your own game is overrated.
I cannot explain how much harder it was at some point. Like,
It was ridiculous. Yeah.
dude, oh my god. We were actually merciless. Like right now, you think we're merciless, we're actually pretty merciful.
Actually, I'd say we were on that occasion we were kind of dumb because it was unintentionally hard.
No, I mean, I think, it was beatable. I could beat it, but
Yeah.
also I had played against it like 1,000 times, so of course I could beat him.
Yeah, but
Also, you designed it.
Yeah.
yeah, you actually could read his mind. So, but I mean, like there were a lot of quality of life updates that were missing on the point. So
Oh, absolutely. I remember the attack where he dashes and he leaves a trail of fire. Like at some point there was no telling where he was going. Like you had no clue if he was going straight towards you or like in a random position. So just even though it has the exact same timing, just the fact that you know where he's going like makes it easier. And like
That wasn't
Yeah.
in the
Oh, yeah.
business, but that's
No.
the business.
Nope.
yeah, no, I mean we added it not on the first release, but like a week later.
Okay.
Like I remember we uploaded the demo, that public demo on December 23rd. And just as an example, maybe this one's not as accurate, but let's say something like December 28th. we added that line that tells you where he's going.
Which, by the way, is a totally necessary.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And there were a couple of other attacks that basically that same principle of like it literally has the exact same timing, but we added a few things to make it like more predictable or more fair or whatever.
I think the only attack that was like outright nerfed was like the one where he swings his wings around him. Like it had,
Dude, I love that version because the attack where he spins his spin attack, he has two versions. Like one he does relatively quickly, and the other one he takes like a while in launching it, and like that thing sometimes confuses people, and I love that so much. I love it when enemies have like the same attack but like in two different ways, and it catches people off guard. That happens a lot in Souls games. Like sometimes they have like a swing that's kind of delayed somehow,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it catches me every time, and I hate it, but I love it. It's one of those things.
I think Rod was trying to say something. Or I heard
Oh.
someone talking. I'm not sure.
Sorry, I was mumbling. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I think we can end the stream here.
Yeah, I just
We've been at
wanted
it
to
for 2 hours.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say is just that appreciate the overlooking hill part because aligning the foreground and the background for them to scroll like that was a pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah. End the stream there in that screen.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, you. The black zone is the. Oh yeah. Yeah, that attack specifically, I'd say it's easier to dodge on hard mode than on normal. Or at least it's easier to notice what you have to do in order to dodge it. Because the thing is, and it was absolutely the idea, like this was the plan, it's all planned, that when you see the black zone attack, like you get overwhelmed. Like you just see it, and you think like, oh my god, there's no way I'm dodging this. But if you really look at it, it's actually pretty easy to dodge. Like you just have to like jump on the big open spaces that there are plenty. And there are many ways, different ways to dodge it. And some are safer than others. But all of them are easy to execute on. Like you don't require like a super tight timing, whatever.
Yeah. This part, like this parallax effect.
Oh my god, that was horrible.
For some reason, like the screen needed to be way off inside the Godot itself. The background needed to be like 100 pixels outside of where it actually is playing right now. I don't know why.
Yeah, and like if you see the scene on the engine, like this area, it looks completely off. It looks horrible. Like the background image is all scrolled to the left, like a bunch of like halfway through the screen to the left and up, and aligning that properly was literally a nightmare. Like I had no idea what I was doing. It was basically trial and error.
Well, it looks great.
Yeah, in the end it looked great, but it was horrible. And how much it has to scroll, and like it cannot go past this, but like I think that is like a poorly made feature in Godot, or at least it's not like well explained, because sometimes you would change parameters and nothing would change on the game, and you're like, but I changed it. and like the documentation wasn't like that well written or documented, and yeah, it ended up being a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, it should be better now, but it was a headache.
Yeah.
Also, it's a
That
slap
section
in the
was
face. Also, it's a slap in the face to flat errors.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Look at that curvature. Oh my god.
It's
beautiful.
round.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Devastated.
Unless it's a disc.
Oh my god. Donut Earth. I subscribe to the Donut Earth theory.
Oh yeah.
I think the Earth is shaped like a giant velociraptor. Personally.
Amount of
Mm.
culture I see.
Best theory ever.
Does include Australia.
All
That's a
right,
good
guys.
question.
Australia's not real.
Well, this was super fun. Thanks for joining us. We had fun, like going more. Like, we've been pretty open about development and fun facts and stuff, but like I think we went pretty hard on the details this stream, and it was pretty cool. I hope you liked it.
Yeah, it's
We're gonna. The thing is that we started the stream like 15 minutes before we told you to, and like there's a bunch of Spanish talk, so we can't make it available as it is. So we'll just download it and edit it a bit, that part out, and upload it for just posterity's sake. And yeah, thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, I had a great time too.
Yeah,
Thanks everyone.
see you guys around.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye, see you.